First of all, in behalf of the Energy Regulatory Commission, would like to thank Globe for inviting us in this opening ceremony and sharing with you the journey towards the energy transition and the regulatory framework covering that journey. Okay. So the Energy Regulatory Commission, before I proceed, I just like to introduce the ERC because a lot of you do not really know what is the mandate of the ERC. So we were created by virtue of the Electric Power Industry Reform Act as an independent quasi-judicial regulatory body. And our mandate is to promote market competition, ensure customer choice, protect consumer interests, and we do this when we say protect consumer interests through the rate setting, which is a reasonable rates, setting of reasonable rates. And when we say also protecting consumers, we make sure that the electricity coming to the households or to the consumers meets the standards in terms of quality. Okay? Ensure least cost pricing in electricity and penalize abuse of market power. So the Commission is a collegial body composed of our chairperson and 4 commissioners. Okay, just a glance of the energy sector. To date, we regulate an industry worth 4.13 trillion, covering the generation, transmission, distribution, and supply sectors. More than these figures, these represent the electricity that powers hospitals, keeps classrooms open, enables businesses to thrive, and keeps households connected. So, and when we talk about keeping the lights on for millions of Filipinos, we cannot help but talk about sustainability and the energy transition, or powering all Filipinos for a safer future. And for us Filipinos, it started when the Renewable Energy Act was passed into law in 2008. The RE Act provided for different incentives, both fiscal and non-fiscal, to encourage the development and promotion of renewable energy in the country. And in fact, since the landmark law was passed in 2008 and until the end of 2024, a total of 3.752 gigawatts of capacity was added, and this is for an estimated of 363 billion of investments. These additions also created green jobs of 357,459 with equivalent estimated GHG emission reduction of 38 million tons of CO2 per year. For solar alone, okay, the country only had 1 megawatt of installed capacity, 1 plant in Mindanao before the enactment of the RE Act. Now there is a total of 2.2 gigawatts of capacity as of end of 2024. Okay. And that accounts for 58% of the 2.7 gigawatt total additional RE installations. So where does that put us in terms of generation mix? This is the data coming from the Department of Energy. So as of end of 2024, the renewable energy mix in terms of installed capacity is 24%. In terms of dependable capacity, it's 31.2%. And in terms of power generation, which is actually the power going into your homes, it's 22.20%. And where do we want to go? This was also presented by Director Patrick earlier. It's 35% RE share by 2030 and 50% by 2040. So the Philippines is indeed going through an ambitious and non-negotiable energy transition driven by an unequivocal commitment to a clean and sustainable future. Okay. So for all market participants, understanding the regulatory landscape is crucial. Both the IPIRA and the RE Act have provided for ready markets and offtake arrangements for the development of renewable energy, with the goal of increasing supply while maintaining security, reliability, and diversity. And for this, we in ERC are looking at two parallel tracks of increasing supply and at the same time managing the demand. For the programs to increase supply, of course, under the RE Act, the feed-in tariff program kick-started the development of RE. The feed-in tariff is an incentive which provides for guaranteed